So let's start the chapter 2 keyword research. The things you learn in this chapter: keywords and its types and its importance, choosing the right keywords for SEO success, keyword research tools and techniques, and all the advanced keyword research techniques that one would require in different situations while they are being an SEO. So now let's jump into keyword research overview. So what are keywords in SEO and what is keyword research? Keywords are just words and phrases that search engines use to understand the context of the page. Page as in the web page. To be more accurate, search engines used to use these keywords. It's a thing of the past, it's not what it does now. Search engines used to use keywords to understand what the page is about, and then evolved into machine learning and AI to understand the web page without relying on keywords. So why am I telling you something about the past is just that you would be able to understand why the concept of keywords first evolved in the concept of SEO. So what is keyword research? Keyword research is the process of exploring and understanding the most used key phrases by search engine users to better understand their needs and behaviors so we can write content around it. Makes sense, right? So we need to understand what they actually need in order to give them the content that they want, give them the information that they want, and that is why we do keyword research. So what is the intent or the goal behind keyword research? Keyword research can be done with various intents: to understand customers and market needs, understanding customers' interests based on search volume data, understanding customers' pain points based on their search queries, the kind of questions they ask. Using these data, we might be able to get into the minds of the customers and understand what they need and what their pain points are. And these keyword research can also be used to get some very useful content insights. For example, identifying low competition topics for blogs, identifying high traffic potential topics in our niche, identifying subtopics to add to a particular topic to rank better. Makes sense? Identifying low competition PPC as in pay per click, the Google ads, will be able to identify low competition keywords which has very high traffic potential. Keyword research can also come in handy for websites and businesses for structuring their website architecture. Will also help us do proper keyword mapping and generating some business ideas. When you actually understand and practice keyword research a lot, you would start identifying lead generation ideas and entire business ideas by just looking at the range of keywords. So as a content writer, keyword research can come in handy for you to understand the customers as well as to get some very deep insights into the content. So you might be wondering, how do we actually do this keyword research? It's easier than you think. There are a lot of free and paid tools in which if we just enter in the keyword, the target keyword that we need to research around, it will give us all the related keywords and insightful data which will help us understand the actual needs and the most used key phrases around the topic of interest, which will help us understand them better, which is more or less the purpose of keyword research. So, what are all the types of keywords? Target keyword or seed keywords. It is the important keyword we are trying to rank for example, the topic of the blog. And related keywords or root keywords, these are all the keywords that's closely related to the target keyword. For instance, if you are writing an article about Paris travel guide, then this would be the target keyword. The Paris travel guide, this would be the target keyword. Other keywords like places to visit in Paris, good restaurants in Paris, hidden gems in Paris, bars and nightclubs in Paris, is Paris safe for tourists, other related terms comes under the root keywords. And we would have to write about these root keywords as subtopics if we want our target keyword to work well. We'll cover more about SEO content writing in a separate chapter. You also need to understand there are other terms like short tail keyword, long tail keyword, latent semantic index keyword, transactional keywords, intent targeting keywords, product specific keyword, geo targeting keywords, and so on. But these are purely theoretical and doesn't make much sense now. since Google has updated its algorithms so much after these have been introduced. Here's everything that you need to know. Broad keywords. Broad keywords are keywords which aren't very specific and will generally have huge traffic potential and very high competition. For instance, travel abroad. This keyword isn't specific at all, and the search volume for it would be immense because a lot of people would be searching for something as generic as travel abroad. The intent of the searcher is known but isn't very specific because where he wants to travel, that information we do not know. Similarly, if we type fitness or just SEO guide, these are all broad keywords. Next comes intent keywords. Intent keywords are keywords where the searcher's intent is very well defined. These are the keywords we need to go after while we write blogs. For example, restaurants in Paris, universities in Norway for MBA, how to increase website traffic. These are intent keywords, and the traffic potential will vary vastly based on the search volume and so much more. How do we actually select the target keywords? Before we go into the process, this question needs to be addressed because the target keyword is what the page is going to be about, will pretty much determine the outcome of the entire SEO efforts. We'll talk more about this later on in this chapter. For now, just remember that you need to choose intentful keywords where the search intent of the searcher is clearly defined so that we can satisfy their questions as well as possible. If you take broad keywords, you will have to write really big articles, and this might not really answer all their questions. So we will take intentful keywords and write in-depth articles. Makes sense, right? So what are all the various keyword research tools that are available out there for free that you could use? There are a lot of free keyword research tools like Ubersuggest and Google autocomplete, YouTube autocomplete, and if you just Google keyword research tools, you will find a bunch of them. Keyword research tools free. You can find a lot of these for free, but then let's just look into some of these keyword research tools that's actually useful and that I use personally to supplement my SEO efforts and everything. So the number one thing here is keywordtool.io. So I would like to inform you guys that I use a group by feature. This is called as a flickover, where you get all of the SEO tools, like for example Ahrefs, SEMrush. You could just look at this, and you even have Grammarly, and you could get Skillshare and everything. So anyways, in this, if you go to the keyword tool, it just opens this up. Make sure the country is given as global, or if you're trying to get data for a specific country, you could enter it there. I usually get global, and for example, let's say we type study in Germany, right? So if you're going to write an article about study in Germany, or if you're looking to write about some articles which is relevant to study in Germany, just go ahead and type it here. You could do keyword research for YouTube, Bing, and a lot of things are available here, as you can see. And please wait for it to load. You could get the search trend difference, like if the trend keeps going up, then it's a good thing that you are writing in it. But generally, this is the kind of trends that you could expect. Like there will be fluctuations. Some months it will go up, and some months they will go down. And you could see the competition, average competition metric is given. This is generally the ranking difficulty thing that a lot of SEOs use. And all these metrics are useful for if you're running Google ads. And this is the average trend. It's your search trends. So if you go down here, you could get data on all of these keywords, search volume, trends for each and every single keyword under here, and the competition metric is also used. So mainly you need to look for search volume and competition, right? So you could see study in Germany for free, for Indian students, for international students, on scholarships and everything. So these are all the root keywords. For example, if you want to write about study in Germany, which is quite broad, which I wouldn't recommend. We'll discuss more about this in the course down below. Anyways, so these are all the potential keywords that you can write about. The one other thing that I need to show is related keywords, which gives us a wide variety of data specifically. So let's see here, universities in Germany, language course in Germany. So similarly, for whichever, for example, if you are having a website about mental health, just go ahead. These are called as broad keywords because this is a niche, right? Even study in Germany is a broad keyword. So under this, once you search for it, you will get a lot of data on all of the other keywords, right? So what are these essentially? This is the number of search data. Like if someone goes and searches for family therapists, and this is the amount of people who's searching for, and you could see on an average number of people search for this is per month, search volume per month. So this also you need to look for because different tools have different numbers. So going to Ubersuggest, so this is a really good tool that I used to use when I was starting out. So again, here you need to select the country. Let's just say we search for United States. So just enter a keyword. Again, let's say mental health or something that you really want to do. So these are broad keywords that you need to use while you're searching for something first. So they might ask you for free accounts and everything. This would actually be valuable for you to sign in here. So you could get the search volume, SEO difficulty, paid difficulty. So the search volume is the traffic potential, and SEO difficulty is the ranking difficulty. So again, you could start free trial. Some of these will definitely ask you to pay for it. So that's why I use tools like Group Buy. So here you could get unlimited data. So going down, you could see again the search trends. So since this is a free account, a lot of these data is not really available, and you might not be able to export them and everything. But one thing that you need to notice here is each and every tool will have some sort of an unique data that it gives us. For example, here there is something called as content ideas, competing domains, traffic by keywords. These are all common everywhere. So you could see, you could export this, you could just go through them. So enter in the broad keyword that your business is about, and look for potential target keywords which have high traffic potential and low competition. So you Google autocomplete, for example, mental health. Now this is a broad keyword. Now here see, codes, research topics, screening tools. So these are all the potential keywords, but now here you will not get data on the search volume and everything unless you have Chrome extensions, which will be covering later on. Because I have this Chrome extension, we are getting this number, and there are a lot of Chrome extensions for you to play around with to get the search volume and search difficulty. Going forward, you could also use YouTube autocomplete, but again, these are all more useful when you're doing the root keyword research, because then you'll be looking for subtopics to cover for a specific target keyword. Let's say you have chosen some article, for example, free universities in Germany. So here, the tuition fee universities, best free universities. So this is already a very niche target keyword. Now trying to do subtopic research using autocomplete here would be a little bit harder. Makes sense, right? So there is something else that I really wanted to cover. This is the Google keyword plan. So first you will have to create a Google Ads account for you to first access this at all. So discover new keywords or search volume trends and forecast. Let's say let's discover new keywords. Now here you could start with a website. You could put in a website's name which really, like, you could put in your competitor's website name, and then you'll get a bunch of keywords. Let's just start here. Okay, SEO. Let's just give SEO. Now here you could see average monthly searches, 3-month change. This is the search trends, and this is a new column that I've come up before. This was not there, and the competition data is also there. But most of this competition data is for paid ads, but this also gives you an insight of how many people are trying to rank for it. Because if someone is trying to put ads for a particular keyword, then obviously a lot of people are looking for it. So if the competition is low, that particular keyword does not have too much competition in search results. But again, this competition metric I will not take too seriously. We will discuss in the next chapter how exactly what are all the factors that I use to come up with the ranking difficulty as well as the traffic potential. Just wait for it. Now we are just covering the basics of keyword research. Next, I'd like to talk about some of the Chrome extension that one could use to get insightful data while you're just researching for anything in the SERPs itself. For example, if I type SEO, you could see monthly data here, and then the domain authority of all the websites here. So the monthly searches is 1,000, and here you could see the domain authority and estimated visits. So if you really want to use these kind of tools, which I really recommend that you do, because in the next chapter you'll know that this kind of data is highly essential for us to understand a lot of the important metrics which would come in handy while you're trying to progress your SEO efforts. So what are the important extensions that I really recommend and how to install them, for example. So go to Chrome stores. So if you go into Chrome store, Chrome web store, if you just search SEO, you will get a bunch of plugins. I recommend you just play around with all of these. I use SEO Minion, but mainly I recommend Ubersuggest. The Ubersuggest tool might be really annoying, but the free version of this extension is extremely insightful, I could say, because these kind of domain authority and estimated data and the number of backlinks and everything would be essential. For a SEO content writer, you might be wondering, why am I learning so much about keyword research and everything? You would understand this by the end of next chapter, because this will make you not just a content writer, but also someone who could lead the content team from the front and understand how to grow the organic traffic, even though you're not like a complete SEO. And a complete SEO, as in you would not know the backlink building part of it. That's all. So you just go into the Chrome store and install this, add to Chrome. And I also recommend you using Mozbar, which also gives you some really good insights. So this is with the Chrome extensions thing, guys. You could just play around with all of these, and just don't worry too much about the data and the insights that you see here at the moment. Here's some other extensions that's worth exploring. For example, Keyword Surfer, SEO Quick, Growth Bar, Link Miner, SimilarWeb, SERP Stat. Just play around and even try new extensions, because a lot of new extensions keeps coming up to check if you get some kind of deep insights that you are actually seeking for.